Yeah. This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Let's go!
Hear that, everyone?
The rocking chair.
That's David Mundy on the porch.
Yes, he is, and he's coming live from the porch on his rocking chair this morning.
Well,
Good
he's
morning to you,
retired.
David.
Good morning.
Hey, mate,
Dave.
what are you whittling right now in retirement? Are you going to play the banjo? What are we doing?
Oh, I haven't figured it out yet, but I've this nice piece of wood just ready to go.
Dave, what a big week announcing your retirement at the end of 2022, of course. Hopefully Fremantle will play a few more games for you. But what a decision. How did that come about for you?
It's been something that's bubbling away, I guess, in the back of my mind for a little while. I've been on one-year deals for a very long time, and so not much career security in those. So I've been thinking about the transition a bit. And just before Christmas, really, I guess, I destroyed my ankle out on Coburn in our last session before Christmas, which was absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
And they, I guess, kick-started, that serious thought about, how my time in football was going and how I wanted it to end and what I was going to do afterwards. So I've figured out two of those things, and as to the last, what I'm going to do next, I have no idea.
So
Into the abyss.
do you like what you've said, though? You don't want to be carried off. You want to be able to walk off,
Yeah.
But, like, working with Sean now for so long, we know that his bum hurts.
His
we
neck
know his neck hurts.
Knees hurt.
Knees hurt.
I got told I've got to have a shoulder operation likely.
Shoulder
yesterday.
operation. So right
hip.
now, I mean, I know that once you put your body up on blocks, you'll be able to probably feel more so what the future problems are going to be. But right now, what's your list of stuff you need to get done in the
Ailments.
shop?
Well, I guess, first of all, I know Sean obviously quite well, and I'm hopeful that he's just a little bit precious than everyone else.
Well, Sean actually said because you know him so well, that's why his bum hurts. It's weird. So what's your list of things in that you think you're going to have issues with in the future?
Well, I think I've played so many games, so I'm really realistic that there's going to be multiple joint replacements at some point in my future.
Yeah.
But ankles have always been my biggest
Ankles.
area of concern. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Sean,
There's no twinkle toes.
your ankles have been fine, haven't they? It's
about the only thing
never
that's
really
good on him.
complained about your ankles.
No, I had a fracture in there when I first started at the doctor, so I got a couple of screws in that one, but it hasn't been an issue.
Yeah, right. Have you got screws in your ankles?
I have a tightrope little wire in my right syndesmosis, but
What?
everywhere else has been pretty good.
got wires.
So it's literally a wire holding your ankle together.
No, not usually, but it makes me feel a bit superhuman, a bit Terminator-ish, so I'm all good.
Yeah, I like that, Dave. Hey, Dave, one of the great things about your career, apart from the longevity of it all and how great you've been, is that the people in the community, how there's been a lot of memes about you, really funny stuff along the way. But
Especially the last few years.
but it's all come from a loving part. You must have been wrapped with it, how people in the community have engaged with you.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The last few days have been overwhelming, to be honest. It's been the love and support, from all areas of the football community, not just Fremantle, have been pouring in, and it's taken me hours to go through it and read it and get back to people and all that kind of stuff. And apologies if I've got back to everyone, but and I guess stems back to the last few years. I still reflect back on the Monday 300 week and leading into that Western Bulldogs game, and that was just absolutely insane, and something for my family and I guess, to be really proud of, and go through that kind of wave of support throughout my career has been something that I'll really cherish.
Yeah.
Now-
You have been called the Dumbledore of the sport, which is really lovely. And Sean was telling me when you first started playing, balls were made with whale leather because they didn't realise it was wrong.
It's come a long way. Yeah.
Well, David got his first game because I got dropped. You tell him that story. Because I couldn't remember that.
No, I do vividly. Upstairs at Fremantle, I was called up to see Chris Connolini's office on a Wednesday or Thursday or whatever it was. And I was sitting outside his office kind of knowing what was coming and going to debut and all the emotions that come with that. And so justifiably was sweating absolute bullets waiting to go into this meeting. And as I was about to get up to go in, Big Shawnee comes storming out, angriest man in
Furious.
Perth. He looks at me, gives me like this really hesitant little nod, like, "Right up, mate, but I just got dropped, so stuff you." And storms out.
I mean, some would say it was the right decision.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Straight to the
71
yo-yo fridge.
games left. Dave, you said you don't know what you're going to do next, but like, do you have an idea? What sort of skill set have you got? Do you think maybe, you'll stay in footy in some capacity as, coaching, or do you want to go into the media or
Aquaculture?
Yeah, yes, of course you're a marine biologist.
Do you want to get Sean dropped here so you can step into this job too?
History says it works.
Nathan, Nat, and
That'd be an
Dave.
absolute dream, yeah. No, I've spent about 15 years really trying to educate myself, prepare myself for this transition,
Yes.
and be ready for whatever opportunity comes. So, yeah, I've done marine and environmental undergrad and honours, and I'm about to finish an MBA. Done a little bit of work in the media, obviously, and some commentating stuff, and obviously entrenched in what happens at the football club, both in a playing sense, but I guess more in a leadership and operational sense as well. So I have no grand ideas or ambitions just yet. Nothing set in concrete on the way out. I'm really open and flexible to whatever comes my way.
Well, you better hurry up because JK's looking for stuff too.
Yeah, I know, right?
You flooded the market with amazing retiring footballers.
I know, competition never been so stiff, Dave. Hey, Barra, the first time when you got drafted, right, in 2003 from Seymour, how did that take place? Did the recruiting guys, Phil Smart, Brent Dawkins, come to you? How did it all go down for you, and how was it received?
Well, I guess my first memory of it is at draft camp. I was sitting down with Fremantle people, and Chris Connolly, who was a Golden Valley boy as well, asked me point blank, "How do you feel about wearing purple?" And I was wearing or playing for Murray Bushrangers at that point. And they had a purple sash through the middle of their jumper, and I mentioned that and got a few chuckles and a few head nods. So that was probably my first good step in a Fremantle sense.
Oh,
And then the
So it's
day of the
literally
draft-
just a colour chart situation.
yeah, good
Yeah.
purple jokes.
So the draft back then wasn't like it is now. It's not wasn't some big aired event. It was, I think, it just happened quietly one morning, and I was actually asleep for it. I got woken up by a text message on my old big Nokia phone, which I was really proud of at the time.
Yeah, of course.
By a teammate congratulating me. So I walked out to the kitchen, and my dad was sitting at the kitchen bench trying to tune his radio to get the draft, and I told him, and he was immediately like chuffed as. And I walked through to wake up my mum because she was a night shift nurse, and so she just got home and gone to bed.
Yeah.
And I told her, and she immediately started bawling her eyes out.
Of course.
Oh.
Her boy was
She
moving to
still
the other
crossed
side of the
airport
country.
to say,
Yeah.
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 And then he sat down and he played a celebratory game of Snake on his Nokia. Remember Snake? It was like, oh my God, it's a video game.
What number did you go at, Dave?
I was drafted number 19
Yeah.
in that year, which was the first pick of the second round. And I can remember leading up to the draft, just joking with my mates. I didn't think I was going to get drafted, really, and certainly not that high. But I remember joking with my mates saying, I hope I don't go pick 19 because it's the first pick of the second round and the pay scale drops by like $3,000. The first round,
Hey, Dave, do you remember the minimum for me? I think my first year was like $14,500 or something along those lines. Yours would have been pretty low back then.
Oh, his was pounds and shillings.
Yeah, so I was paid in my first year as a second round draftee. My base wage, I think, was about $37,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 2004, yeah, which at the time for a 18-year-old, I was like, oh my God, look at all this. So
Yeah.
it was a nice little bump, yeah.
And what about this will be my final question for you. You've gone through all this period, right? But at the moment, you are playing as a player. Your coach you played with, the GM of football you played with, the CEO was playing when you first got drafted. It's pretty amazing in that sense as well.
The Queen was a wag.
Yeah. It is. When Justin and Peter and Josh Carr, have come back to the club, I found the first interaction with them really weird. 'Cause
Yeah.
they've come back in a position of authority in the hierarchy, above me, and we've been on footy trips together and played a heap of footy together, and so there's a lot of back history with our relationship and stuff. So to kind of fall back into that, coach-player relationship has been the first couple of weeks has been, something that we've had to feel out. It's been, a little bit awkward, to be honest. But I guess then having that relationship, it's really helped, I guess, me find my place in how we help get the playing group to where we wanted to get it to, and I felt like I've been really included in that process, which has been great.
Oh, you've been an ornament to the game. Extraordinary career.
Love your work. You've been amazing. So look forward to plenty more games in 2022, mate. Keep playing well. You're outstanding last week. Keep it up.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
See you, man.
Yeah, what a legend.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
We're talking about the 5 words that strike fear into any customer's heart. We apologise for any inconvenience.
Yes.
Oh, no.
We'd like to know what that inconvenience was and whether the apology was enough. Hi, Elise.
Hi guys, how are you?
Great, Elise. Okay, what did they offer an apology for?
Okay, so I went into the hospital to get my gallbladder out, and when I woke up from surgery, I had a bit of a pain in the arse. And,
Oh my God, what happened?
That's always a worry for anyone.
Yes, it is.
I actually had like a chemical burn the size of my palm on my butt.
What do you mean?
What did they do to you?
There was never ever an explanation. Like I get pretty moody, and I was like screaming till I was blue in the face, and they were like, "Oh, we're sorry. Like we don't know what happened, so that's it."
Someone
I'm sorry. If I've been burnt while I'm unconscious, being burnt on the arse with chemicals, I would like an explanation.
Yes.
Yeah,
And also,
like there was just nothing.
when you're having your gallbladder out, you're lying on your back, right?
Yes.
So how did the chemicals get on your butt in the first place?
This is my thing.
question,
This is my
Nat.
thing. And
What
you
were they
know
doing
what?
with
I'm
you?
sure that there's some amazing, very above board surgeons, but I'm sure a lot of them take pictures with your doodle. And
Yeah, I got no doubt.
Do you think
Sean,
they were
if you-
taking
if you
pictures
came
with
in-
Elisa's
Sean,
doodle?
Yeah.
How many times have you been knocked out?
I've had about
Anaesthetics,
8 or
you
9.
mean?
I'm sorry. Straight
8 or 9
away,
operations.
if you're a bit of a loose clinic,
Yep.
there'll be photos of people posing with your doodle. Straight out. Sean McManus, here's your doodle.
hey.
It's like a doodle, only smaller.
Can you send me a pic? Chuck it on the ground.
People doing their own wristwatch, trying it on.
Thanks, Elise.
It's cold when you've got a gown on now.
You're right.
I'll
It's
just say that.
very chilly.
Chantal, hello.
Hi, how you going?
Hi, good
Okay.
Chantal.
When did they offer up an apology for the inconvenience?
So we recently took our 5 kids to Queensland on a holiday, and we went to Movie World like you do.
Yes.
And it was absolutely packed. My partner lined up 2.5 hours to get on the Wild Wild West ride with kids.
Oh.
And it was towards the end of the day. So they get to the front of the line, I'm not kidding you, and the ride broke down.
Chantal.
Were they sorry for any inconvenience?
Yeah, over the loudspeaker. We're sorry for any inconvenience. Please exit the line.
2.5
Oh,
hours.
that's it. Not even like
Here's a free drink.
like let's give you some chips or something.
Nothing at all. And we had kids in tears. My 8-year-old had waited for 2.5 hours to get on this ride, and he was just beside himself. It was the end of the day too. So we
Yeah.
couldn't
Oh,
even
yeah,
run
so
on
Everyone's
anything else.
tired, cranky.
Hey, Chantal, the other rides, what was the time lapse being in line for any of those?
So when we first got there, 2 of my kids lined up for the big roller coaster there. I think it's like the biggest one in the
Yes.
Southern Hemisphere or
Yeah.
whatever. That was 2 hours lining up.
No.
And none of the other kids could get on anything because the lines were just too long. And then they lined up
Oh,
for that.
sounds like great
Can I
fun.
just say the right thing to do there
Yeah.
would be the people that you'd be able to tell who's lined up, so for maybe over a couple of hours, which would be the people at the front,
Yep.
would be to collect those people and then give them priority onto a next ride. That's
You would
it was
think.
a nightmare. And there was probably about 150 people lined up behind them as well.
Oh,
well, they were
do
sorry for any inconvenience.
Yeah, that's
so
right. So,
that
I mean,
helped.
they've done all they can.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chantal.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We're talking about when a company says we apologise for any inconvenience, you're like, oh, no.
oh,
Yeah, 'cause
here
you know
we go.
why? I mean, compared to what happened, was the apology really enough, or did you think you deserved something? Hi, Cara.
Hello.
Hi, Cara.
Hi, Cara.
Tell us about this situation, and we'll see if the apology was enough.
So, I don't know if you guys remember, back in the day, there was the theme park, Disneyland Park.
Yeah, Disneyland
Dis-
Park.
Disneyland.
Oh,
Yeah, that's great.
So, those little boat rides that you sit on that you pedal, like in the water?
Yep.
Yes.
we went on I went on one of those when I was really young with my dad.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what happened. I don't know whether because of like the weight difference or whatever, but somehow I ended up in the water. And I was quite young, so I couldn't swim yet.
Yeah.
So pretty much almost drowned. But the
look at
officials didn't even do anything. They didn't do. It was actually a stranger that managed to pull me out of the water.
Yes.
And then when I finally sort of got myself right, the officials there were like, "Oh, we're really sorry. We'd like to offer you another free ride."
On the place that you nearly drowned in.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
jump
exactly.
in. Or finish the job off this
Cara,
time.
what was your dad doing? Why didn't your dad try and save you? What was he doing?
He did, but the water was like so dark and murky. I actually still remember being under the water and being that age. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to get eaten by a shark."
Yeah.
Because I was so young, I didn't understand. But yeah, he did. But the water was so dark, no one could actually see.
And you know
it.
what, though? And
Sounds
also, just on your dad as well, say if he wasn't really, that quick to get you out. Our parents, back then, they'll be right.
Yeah, they'll make it to the edge.
It doesn't matter what happened, fall off the roof, he'll be right. Drowning, they'll be right.
We're glad you survived, Cara, but I don't think the apology was enough. You're right.
Or the offer of a free ride.
To repeat the offence.
On the drowning
Thanks,
ride
Cara.
again.
Rudy, hello.
Hi guys, how you going?
Hey,
Good,
Rudy.
buddy. Okay. What were they apologising for?
Me and my friend worked at down south. We used to hang out in the mornings and grab a coffee on the way to work. So we walked into this well-known franchise. We go every morning, right? This particular morning was pretty dark because we're pretty early.
Yep.
So his name was Terry. He walked towards the door, what he presumed was the entry.
Yeah.
And normally on the glass panels, there's some sort of stickers to show door
Yeah.
or, there is glass.
Yes.
So he walked full speed into the actual fixed pane of glass and not the door.
Yes.
Broken his nose, 2 blue eyes the next day. And all I could say is, sorry, not even a free coffee. No.
You give him a free coffee.
I said to him, mate, you should sue the life out of them because there should be markings on the windows to say, hey,
This is a window.
Yes, exactly.
I'm sorry. That is actually a legal thing. You need to have something on there
You
to
do,
show.
actually. That's true, Nate.
That
How long ago was this, Rudy?
Mate, it was about 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah, right.
really marries up with
It's a good
Nathan's.
number.
Maybe we can take Nathan, the New Zealand people at Puzzle World to task, and then we follow it up with these down south coffee machine.
just litigation.
Get everyone.
Let's go Palmer on their
Yep,
asses.
that's
No worries.
Yeah, then they'll say you two idiots wasting
Yes,
the
exactly. Thanks, Rudy. Michelle, hello.
Good morning.
Hey,
Right,
Mish.
Michelle, what happened? What was the situation?
Well, I have a very good friend who's over at the Commonwealth Games at the moment. She's on the South African team.
Yeah.
And her hubby and the 2 kids thought, yep, we'll go support Mum. And they'd flown from Joburg and landed in London and got up to Birmingham. It was about 7 o'clock at night, got to the hotel, and despite them having paid in full and had a confirmation email from the hotel, the hotel went, yep, sorry, we've overbooked. We don't have a room for you. Here's a refund. Good luck.
No!
And, yep, that was it. So it's 7 o'clock at night. He's in the middle of Birmingham on his own with
At
a
the
3-year-old
busiest
and an
time
8-year-old.
in history in Birmingham.
Yes.
Yep, and absolutely nothing available. So, yeah, they got on Facebook, and I think they have a friend of a friend of a friend who had a living room floor that they're sleeping on for the 6 nights that they're there.
Oh, my God.
Like, I was under the impression, because this does happen, that they might double book, but the onus was on the accommodation provider
Of course
to
it is.
find an
Yeah.
alternative.
Not give you a...
Not
Yeah,
just
they
say,
threw their
yeah,
hands up
see you
in the air
later.
and went, yep, too hard, sorry, here's your money back.
Yeah.
Oh, my. I imagine the rage
Sean.
after the travelling,
I'd
and then
go
you just
off,
want to
And
go
2
in
little
there.
kids as well.
You just want to put your stuff down. You want to get your bearings,
Yes.
and then you're on the streets.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
Spicks and Specs returns to the ABC. We're excited about that. It's like a hug from an old friend, Spicks and Specs. And the host with the most is Adam Hills, who joins us now. Hillsy, how are ya?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Yeah,
You're doing well.
Yeah,
Well, each of you, tell me individually how you're doing.
we're just in the mine, mate, waiting to see if the canary dies.
That's right. At the coal face.
We're just in here digging with no thanks. How's the UK?
Oh, listen, it's sunny and Australia are winning gold medals at the Commonwealth Games.
Thank
I couldn't be
you.
happier.
Yeah, are you getting a part of it? Do you feel the buzz around? I mean, obviously it's in Birmingham, but what's the feeling like?
Yeah, you did a thing at Australia House the other night, didn't you?
I did. I was at Australia House on Tuesday night. I was hosting an official kind of almost handover function for the Victorian Commonwealth Games in 4 years' time. And I opened it by saying, welcome everybody to the Australia's beating England in the medal tally party.
Nice. You knew your crowd.
Yeah. And then I finished it by saying, and to all the English people in the room, can I just say, suck it? And then went, oh, and here's the High Commissioner.
Hey, Adam, when I went to Australia House a couple of times when I was in the UK, every time they serve party pies and Fosters. Now, no one drinks Fosters, obviously, in Australia. When you had the opening the other day, or the crossover, what was the food that they got out there to the people?
There's often party pies, but it was definitely craft beer this time.
Or they've upped their game.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, they'll go for some really regional produce now.
How artisanal.
And when you were there, did they point out, or did you realise you were also standing in Gringotts Bank from Harry Potter?
Oh,
No, were you?
No.
Gringotts was filmed, the bank scenes were filmed in Australia House in London.
Wow.
What?
No, I didn't know
What
that.
an interesting little factoid.
I might have been there before Harry Potter started.
Yeah, that's
a fair while ago then.
Hey, on your Instagram, you give a shout out to your brother who was part of the Stranger Things the experience. He created that, is that right?
There's a big Stranger Things interactive experience that's been running in New York for about 3 months, and they're just about to start it up in London. And my brother's one of the actors that's been playing in it, and so they've flown him over to London to help them set it up. So yeah, I've been hanging out with my brother over here at the moment. It's been great.
So
that's cool.
what does the experience entail? What happens?
Well, you basically walk into an enormous warehouse, and for 45 minutes, you're inside Stranger Things. You
So you're in the
laboratories.
upside down, is that right?
You're in the upside down, and my brother is one of the laboratory investigators that kind of takes you through some of the strange phenomenon.
There
I
you
want to
go.
spit out.
No.
You know what's amazing about you, Adam, is that you have spent a lot of time in the UK. There is not a hint of a UK accent. And yet we know people that have been to London for 3 weeks and come back talking like a geezer.
He can do that though. Hilsey, you've got the best accent though. You can pull it off any day.
Well, that's the thing. So my manager, I've got a manager over here who's Cockney, and if I talk to him for half an hour, like literally every conversation I'll have afterwards is, all right, geese, how's it going? Yeah, what, a little bit of apples and pears. Why don't we go down to the old fruit market? You know what I'm saying? And occasionally when I get back to Australia, I find myself drinking from a bottle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, we should speak about Spicks and Specs.
Yes.
The thing about it is I'd love to be on that panel, Adam, but and we present music as a living here.
Yes.
But we're too stupid to be able to get some of these songs.
Well, we don't retain anything.
No, but Sean, some of the songs are so it's just you need to know music.
Yeah, you
and
do.
a lot of your guests that you have on there, I would never even think would have that much depth of musical knowledge, but yet they snag some answers. How is this possible?
And Jimmy Barnes is the perfect example of that. Like, you, for a number of reasons, you don't think he's going to remember anything. And yet his music knowledge was amazing.
Yeah.
So would Jimmy be one of the smartest? Who's one of the stupidest you've ever had on?
Oh, look, I wouldn't say that Hamish Blake is stupid.
It's just not his strength.
It's just music isn't his strong point.
But he's entertaining, so, you know.
Oh, he's
he
very
gets across
smart
the
in
line.
other ways. In his own way,
Yes,
he's smart.
that's right.
And how would you go if you were a contestant? You seem to know
you'd
everything.
have to, yeah.
You seem to know everything, but
Yeah, but he's got it written down.
I know. But if you were playing, would you be okay?
No, I used to get invited to music quiz nights because
Yes.
people just thought I knew all the answers.
Yes.
And then it became very clear early on in those quiz nights that I didn't.
I'm the same. I'm pretty handy at a quiz night. It comes to the music round and I'm like, I don't know. Everyone's like, you work in radio.
I know, that's the
it doesn't
thing. People look at
help.
you and think you're going to know everything.
It doesn't
about
help.
that.
I think when you work in it all day long, you've got so many songs coming in and out and so many facts going in and out of your brain, you can't hold on to them. They just kind of
that's my
disappear into the
excuse.
ether.
Yeah.
Sorry, Adam. We work in commercial radio. We have the same 6 songs.
Yes, it's Ed
coming
Sheeran
up.
or Dua Lipa. That's it.
Hey, you know what we need to do? We need to go to a trivia night where it just plays ad jingles. And you're like,
The ads we retain.
Yes.
The grout guy, he's your man. The grout guy. The grout guy. The groutguy.com.au.
If you need
June and day.
you need any grouting done.
Anyway, just made some
Do you
money
know
there.
what? I'm going to tell you something right now. Okay.
Yes.
For 2 reasons. Gabby Bolt was on the show, the comedian Gabby Bolt.
Yep.
And I think it was Gabby who said that her field of musical expertise was like North Coast, New South Wales ad jingles from the 90s.
There we go.
Okay.
Yes, we're kindred
And we couldn't
spirits.
think of any to throw at her, but also the way she got on the show was she tweeted me saying, I'm so desperate to be on Spicks and Specs, I will sing Substitute using the words of your autobiography if I have to, then filmed herself doing it, and then I was too scared not to bring her on Spicks and Specs.
Amazing.
Because the
That's a
next
fair
step's her
effort.
living in his ceiling.
Yes.
Sometimes you just have to give stalkers a little bit. Just a little bit to keep your family alive. I get it. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Well, we can't wait to watch the next series. Adam Hills, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Keep sticking it to those poms over the Common Games.
Good on you, Adam.
By the
You know
way.
what? I've done a lot of interviews today, and this one's been my favourite.
Oh, you say that to everybody.
Cut and paste.
Thank you so much, Brisbane.
Love your work, Hilsey. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Thanks.
You're listening to Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Oh, this is really nice, isn't it, guys? This is Shady Palms Retirement Village. It's actually
The beige walls are a nice touch.
very nice. I think the residents look happy.
We need to run that by Josh Kennedy because he's retiring. He might need to go to retirement
let's
home.
show him around. Hello, JK.
Josh.
Hello, how are you?
Great, JK. What do you think? It's nice, isn't it?
It sounds absolutely beautiful.
Doesn't it?
There's water aerobics.
Oh,
and
we-
there seems to be a vibrant community here.
They got a lawn bowls rink.
Beautiful. Oh, that sounds great. Is there got the cup of tea as well?
Oh,
I
yeah.
enjoy my tea.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
a cup of tea, obviously.
Yeah.
Love a cup of tea.
Love a cup of tea. They're getting their tea from T2 here. This is actually
Hey,
Next
quick
level.
question, JK. What time do you eat dinner?
It depends on the kids, but yeah, usually like 5:30.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we're all pensioners then.
Yeah.
We're all
Not
on the same
me.
boat here.
7:30, like a young person.
Oh, and that's a night owl. Now, JK, it's been a massive week for you, obviously announcing
Yeah.
your retirement, and then all the reflections from people about your career.
It's been lovely.
and-
Everyone's got
yeah.
nice things to say, which is good.
They have, but also for you personally, you know, because you have to front cameras and people are asking you to kind of reflect and describe your early days. How's that been for you?
Yeah, it's I suppose when you get asked the questions, it kind of starts rolling through on how it started and where it's been, and I suppose memories that pop up in your head. And yeah, sometimes it's hard to remember everything, but yeah, it's brought back. I suppose a lot of times back when I first started playing footy, and you start comparing to the way it is now. It's it's been a crazy journey, that's for sure.
I will tell you right now, and I'll defend you to the death, because I feel like people should not do this to others, because I'm on the other side of it, as with Natalie. You don't have a pinhead. I don't care what people say.
Thank you.
I do not think.
'Cause
I
we're
think-
big-headed people.
That's on radio now.
It's on record.
I think that your head, and I've seen your head in real life on many occasions, I think your head is a nice, healthy size and weight.
And in proportion to the rest
And
of your
look,
body.
and also, JK, I did my own research the other day and have seen a beardless, a stubbled, and a bearded JK, and I have to say every version is amazing.
The beard isn't hiding anything, which is great.
Thank you. It's great. It's great that finally someone's got some common sense.
All right, so on that though, will you
Yes.
go back to any of the things that Nathan mentioned, the beardless, Josh Kennedy,
Yeah.
the stubble? That's not stubble,
Yeah.
the stubbled.
Yeah, it was. I was obviously seeing some photos pop up, and you kind of reflect on the time where I was clean shaven, and then it was the time I started growing a beard was I had shoulder surgery, and I wasn't able to kind of shave for a good couple of months, and that was leading in the back end of I think 08, my first year at West Coast, and I met my wife, Lauren, and she liked the beard, and that's how it kind of ended up staying when I was able to back shave. I think I shaved it for the first time when I could, when my shoulder came out of the sling, and she said, I don't really like that, so it's pretty much stuck.
And not just that. I mean, like, we know him as Josh, and a lot of people know JK. They may know that J stands for Josh, and then when they see Jim's mowing, they probably look at that and go, well he's
there
doing
he
well
is.
for
That's the
himself.
guy.
That's Jim Kennedy. He's doing well. Not bad.
That's probably the only business he hasn't bought over the journey too, JK.
Hey, JK, I want to talk about, and I saw that Nick Nat brought it up last night, that you don't ever touch the banner because it's a superstition. So that's, I mean, I get superstitions. Do you carry superstitions throughout your whole life? Like, do you have any others that you live by?
No, not really. It's more just the stuff on game day, I think. I think you get caught in routines that, you kind of figure out over the course of your career, and then you get fixated on them, and then it becomes a thing. But like, there's plenty of times where the banner did touch me, and I didn't freak out.
So is that why West Coast got rid of the banner at home games and just have the inflatable Eagle tunnel? Was that because of you?
No, the cheer squad will get very angry with me about that. No, that's not the reason why. The big bird's there, but look, I tried to actually get a banner made up, and I probably was going to run through it for the one and only time, but we actually couldn't get the supplies into WA.
There's no crepe paper.
I'm sorry, it'd be so funny if he decided one day to run through the banner and he got paper cut to shreds.
Had to come off continuously with the blood rule.
Or he got clotheslined by some heavy tape.
We've seen it happen.
Yeah, it does happen.
Hey, JK, everyone's talking about the fads too that you get involved in. We had Jeremy McGovern.
Yeah.
He mentioned it. Obviously, Nick Nat mentioned it on the news last night on 7. So give us a rundown of some of them.
Of the things you've tried.
No, it's not bad.
Come on, mate.
Mate, there's a lot of stuff out in the world that people say, hey, you should do this, you should do that. And there's like research, there's facts, there's social media facts which aren't true, and all these things. So you have no idea what's true these days. It's too hard to pick through it all. But when people say, oh, look, if you go vegetarian, you'll be a better athlete, or if you get off the drink for a year, which I think is actually a fact. If you don't drink for a year,
okay, you're proving that one. Yeah.
But then remember that sugar documentary that we all watched? I mean, when I watched that, I stopped eating so much sauce because I didn't realise how much sauce was in the sugar thing, and I stopped putting sugar in my tea. And JK, of course, being super young, even though he's retiring, would be all over TikTok. So I'm sure he's done the Tide Pods and all those other things. All the dances.
So as long as it's suggested by someone else, you'll give it a crack?
No, well, it's just I'm being open there, so I'd I don't know until you try. So, so it's pretty much been it. So I've had a year or months doing that.
Love it.
There was actually one stage which was funny. Lecker laughs at me with this one, but I kind of someone was saying that to get hydrated a lot quicker, your body needs room temperature, the temperature of what's in your gut with the water, so warm water. So obviously, there was a time where I was at training, I was just getting the tap water rather than having it cold. And obviously the benefits of having cold water brings in your temperature down, which is good for you, but I wanted to get hydrated more.
So you're hydrated, but you still had hypothermia.
I think they're big on that in China, aren't they? That's room temperature water all the time.
Yeah. So there's all that. So you give it a go for a few months and see if you feel any better. If you don't, you move on. But out of all the things, you realise what's good and what doesn't work. And I've just kind of been able to minimise and balance it out over as a normal lifestyle.
Pickle juice? Did you get on the pickle juice?
I didn't. That's one thing I did try. I'm not like Yoey's pickle juice, and that's the worst thing. We had to put a big label of number 6 on his water bottle because you come to the bench and you grab this thing and you put it down your mouth and you throw up everywhere.
If you're not expecting pickle juice, it's not a good surprise.
I tell you what, Sean walks around this building offering everyone his pickle juice, and not one person
takers,
to date has said yes.
No takers.
Yeah, it's one of those things though. The more you're asked,
it's a numbers game, Sean.
That's how I work. Hey, JK, now let's reflect on all the messages and the people have called you or said stuff out in the media of what a great West Coast Eagles player, but what a champion bloke you've been around the football club and in life. It must be very humbling hearing some of this stuff.
Yeah, no, I've been so grateful for a lot of kind words that have come my way this week, and it's been quite overwhelming, really. But to listen to your teammates and to listen to, people in the footy community and just the fans. And, one of the things that's really hit me as well is opposition fans. So the last few weeks playing, in Melbourne or playing away games and just having, other opposition fans come up and kind of congratulate you on your career. And so they've loved watching you play. The little kids that run around in, a St Kilda shirt or a Hawthorn shirt or a Fremantle Dockers shirt, but they come up and they say they've enjoyed watching you play. It's really, really quite, I don't know, it's amazing, and I'm very grateful for that.
Is it the closest that you would think it would be to
being
at your own funeral?
That's a good point, I reckon.
Do you reckon it's the closest it would be to attending your own funeral?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. There's been a lot of words and thank you and goodbyes. I've kind of had to sit down and go, oh yeah, I'm not dying yet. I'm still gonna Monday morning. I'm still gonna be here. So.
Yeah, that's I know.
Yeah.
What's future Josh going to do? Do you have a skill set that you're going to expand on, or what do you want to do?
No, look, we'll probably. I've got a labour hire business, which is I kind of run overseas, which is in the metro area here. But look, as a family, we're probably looking to move up to the Midwest, back up to Geraldton, and get closer to our family and stuff. And a bit of a passion project I've got going and got up and running. We got through all the registration stuff now. Is the Josh Kennedy Foundation, which will JK Foundation, which will be helping disadvantaged youth in regional areas, help one kind of facilitate and try and find what they want to aspire to, and then also building an environment around that helps with resources to create a pathway for them without the restrictions of location. My biggest thing is I feel, and this is purely facts, is the city kids just do get a lot more resources and a lot more access to things to build a career that they want to do.
Yeah, it's the limited opportunities. Yeah. As a regional kid, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, when I was in Kalgoorlie, doing anything, say, in the media, like what I'm doing now,
it wasn't even on the radar.
You couldn't even understand how that would be a possibility. You just don't have the resources. Yeah,
exactly. So being able to help bridge that gap is purely what the foundation's going to be about. So if we are starting in the Midwest, I'd love to pick it up and drop it everywhere in WA, but we'll start.
Jeez, could you be any better of a bloke, to be honest? Is it possible? Maybe your head was a tiny bit bigger, but other than that, that's it.
His head is normal size.
JK, before we let you go, I just wanted to ask you, because people keep asking me, it was a talk around my dinner table last night, my brothers and old boy, was about why aren't you playing the Derby?
Yeah, it's a good question. We kind of came with a plan towards mid-season bye, pushing this back end of the year, and we're and ahhing about playing one last game at Optus, and I kind of sat down and I think it was just really important to, I suppose, play last game in front of home fans, and then also I didn't actually know how far I was. I didn't think I'd get this far. There's a lot of occasions through this back end of the year where there was conversations with Simo going, no, I'm actually done this week. I don't think I'll be able to get up. So I actually didn't think I'd make it this far, and the St Kilda game we kind of pushed a bit through and got through that, and then I've had the week off, and look, I'm looking forward to not having that feeling of trying to get up for a game, even though I'm going to miss it so much. But we landed on the Adelaide game, and this will be it.
All right, hope it goes off with a bang, JK.
Everybody, that was
Kick a lazy
the very normal sized-headed Josh Kennedy.
Good on you, JK.
Love your work, JK. Thanks, buddy.
Bye,
Appreciate it, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Nathan, Nat and Sean in podcast form.
We heard about a couple in America who, they're young lovers. They've been together for 2 years. They've never kissed. They're saving that and presumably everything else for when they're married. They haven't even kissed.
I know.
Yeah.
And they're confused as to why, after putting it up on the TikToks, people are confused and questioning their relationship. It's like, well, of course they're going to. Because
and you know that it's weird.
It's unusual.
Otherwise you wouldn't have put it on TikTok.
So we are talking about the thing in your relationship that people question or think is strange. Hi, Tanya.
Hello, good morning.
All right, Tanya, talk to us. What's a little bit unusual about your relationship?
When I was dating, I would go to the movies with my boyfriend.
Yes.
We'd arrive at the movies together. We'd go to different movies, and then we'd have dinner together.
That's a great idea.
Well, I maintained it was really good because I don't want to see what he wants to watch,
and
I
vice
can't
versa.
talk in the movies anyway.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
would
you're sitting there in the
discuss what movie
dark.
we
It doesn't
watched
need to be a shared
Yeah.
I know,
experience.
but why doesn't it need to be shared experience? Because then you're sitting at dinner and you're going, oh, you know,
But
whatever
You
the
tell
movie
each other
is.
about each other's
About
movie.
each other's movie.
Okay, so what movie would you go and watch, and what would he go and watch? Give me an example.
I'm about rom-coms
Yeah?
Yes.
and anything that's a bit biographical.
Okay. And what was he?
He's sci-fi all the way.
Sci-fi all the
Yeah,
way. Well, you
see.
know what? If you don't have the sci-fi bug,
Yeah.
you cannot drag someone
Those,
into the sci-fi
those
world.
worlds just don't mix.
They
So
don't wanna
that's
be
the
part of
perfect
it.
scenario.
Wow.
You make an
Good
evening
thinking.
of it.
I tell you what, though, at dinner afterwards, God, your eyes must have been rolling in the back of your head when you talk about his movie, hey?
Yeah, I just hear blah, 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 blah. So we've been married 17 years now.
And you're going, oh my God, Kate Hudson is so great. You really believe that she's in love?
Kissing in that movie.
Tanya, I think you're going to give a lot of couples a good idea there. That's
It's-
actually a
it's
really
a
good
good
idea.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
thank
think that's
you.
great.
Isabella, hello.
That's funny.
Hi, how are you going?
Hey,
Good,
Isabella.
All right, what have you got for us?
Well, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for saying this, but this is my sister's relationship. So
Yeah.
She's been going out with the same guy for 4 years,
Yeah.
and they've never spent a whole night together. Because
What do you- what?
he finds it so weird waking up next to someone that he's not living with.
Ah! Oh! I don't know how to react to that. Okay, so wait there.
So if they decide to live with each other, that's fine.
It would be
but the
okay.
fact that they're not, that's his...
Yeah, so I think at the moment they're in that process of, are we going to move in together? But she has always found it so weird, but she loves him so much. So she's like, it's just a weird thing I have to
Okay,
deal
so
with.
wait there.
So he will always go
His
home.
problem isn't being intimate. His problem is
No.
being intimate, then sleeping there, and then waking up next to her.
Yeah, so he's come to our house for dinner so many times. He's always over. We'll have dinner. They'll go upstairs and do whatever they're doing, and then
We know
he'll
what
leave.
they're doing.
Yes, yes, and then
And then he'll leave.
Then he
Doesn't matter what time
gets
it is,
dressed
he'll
and off he
just always
goes.
leave.
okay. So
That's-
is your sister living at the family home so that your parents are there?
Yeah.
So maybe it's the awkwardness of waking up with the parents there knowing, and then he probably thinks, oh, now they know because I've spent the night, we've done something risque, but you already know that the risque thing's
Yes,
happening
disappearing upstairs
when they
for
go
a couple of
upstairs
hours.
for private dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what we thought. But he lives with friends, so it's so weird.
So is she allowed to go over and stay at his house?
Yeah, Mum and Dad don't have a problem with it at all.
So,
Yeah.
so
It's just
yeah.
weird thing.
Does she have an uncomfortable bed that he's not happy with? It's
Yeah.
easier to go home? Because
I
people
don't
go
know.
it's easier to sleep at their own house.
I've tried to ask her about it, but she just doesn't ever really want to talk about it. And she's honestly going to kill me if she hears
Yeah,
it.
you're
Oh
in
no,
massive
it's fine.
trouble.
Let's talk about it some more so she can really hear your voice. Will she sleep over his house
Yes.
and wake up the next morning?
No, he makes her leave.
He
So
makes
she'll
her
come home
leave.
at like 12 o'clock in the morning, she'll come home. He'll just be like, thanks for a good night, I'll see you tomorrow.
It's a weird hang-up.
It is.
And I
You
love
know
that
what?
it's not marriage that's going to seal it. It's them living together that's going to seal it.
But if that's the case, when they eventually go, oh, let's live together, are they going to be those separate bedroom people?
Yeah, like you go to your room, I'll go to
I
mine.
don't know if they'll be separate bedroom people. He just thinks that he's just got a problem. I don't know what his problem is. I think it's
There's
so
no-
funny.
there's no answering
I
what
think
that
it's so
problem
funny.
is.
I think you might have a nighttime girlfriend and a daytime girlfriend.
the after midnight
I
girl.
think there's some shift work happening here.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Talking about relationships that may have an unorthodox element to them. People go, that's a bit unusual.
Hello, Carol.
Hi.
Hi,
Carol.
Is this your relationship, Carol?
It is, yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
What
so
have you got?
excited.
I've been married to my husband for 31 years,
Yes.
and he has never cut his own fingernails or toenails.
Carol,
Sweetheart.
Yep.
what are you doing?
He likes being looked after by
do
you,
you
Carol.
like cutting his toenails?
No, you don't.
I do, because sometimes, depending on how I feel, I can inflict more pain than I would normally inflict.
Sure.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
All right. There's
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
element.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's disgusting, and I just can't stand looking at them, so I just say, right, come here, and I just get stuck in about them.
Now, does he alert you that it's time for a trimming, or do you alert him?
It can be a mixture of both. sometimes I look and I think that is absolutely foul, and I just, get stuck in and get them trimmed right back.
It's better just to do it.
So it's like, are you on the couch and he's like leaning back and he puts his foot up, or are you in the
right under my arm, and I get them in right quick, and I hold them, and he tries to pull his leg away, and I'm like, don't move, and I just.
So it's like cutting a dog's toenails then, essentially. Carol, what did he do before you came into his life?
His mummy did it for him.
Oh, no!
So he's always had a woman trimming his nails.
Is that the only
thing? Life?
Is that the only thing, Carol, that you do for him in that sense? You know, do facials? And,
I cut his hair for him. I buy his clothes for him. Listen, if he really pushed his luck, if he could get away with it, he would have me doing other things, but we won't even go there.
Wipe your bum.
What's he bringing to the table? What's he doing for you?
That's something I'll need to think about. It's taken me 31 years and I'm still trying to find out.
So she's been thinking about that for 31 years. Carol, just quickly before I let you go, are you a pimple popper as well?
I am actually. Love it.
You could tell now.
It's these spider monkey people.
The groomers.
Like my mum's one of those people.
Groomers,
She's like, they just want to get on and
picking things off.
And they're just like grabbing things off you, and it's like, God, it's so gross.
Love the accent too.
Thank you, Carol.
That was a joy.
Cassie's in Applecross. Morning, Cassie.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Cassie. What do people think's a little unorthodox about your relationship, Cass?
I think it's totally fine, but I've been with my partner for 7 years, and we have monthly meetings with an agenda and minutes to discuss our lives.
I love your PowerPoint presentation.
It's actually, a really solid thing to do in a relationship, but most people would never do it.
Can you go through your last meeting? What was on the agenda?
So he just got a pay rise. So we re-looked at our accounts and how much money we're going to send to all the places.
Yes.
Which account was getting the best interest rate.
Yep.
We talked about buying some furniture.
So that was so on the agenda. It would have said, "Okay, next up, furniture. Let's talk about that."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you'd go, and then how did the furniture play out? What was his?
What was the resolution?
What was your points?
We're buying a couch.
Yeah. Okay.
We found a dining table, but we haven't found dining chairs.
Where'd you find the couch from?
From the furniture gallery.
Oh, the furniture gallery.
Lovely.
They do great stuff.
Do you take your meetings off site, Cassie?
Sometimes, because we minute them. So then we say where we are. So we're like, meeting started at 6 o'clock at this place.
Yes.
Yes. And we've used them. Like, we've gone back and looked at the minutes before because we've forgotten what we decided.
Yeah, okay, right.
On special days, you have like a sweep to Melbourne Cup and stuff and get your names in, like everyone from the office.
Employee of the month.
Okay, so what's the most...
He would never win employee of the month.
I do think this is really so cute, to be honest. But can you tell me, I'm sure once there was something on the agenda that you've sort of laughed at and go, cannot believe we've put this on the agenda. Has there ever been anything like that? You're going, okay, but this is a lot. Or is it just everything?
This is the thing. I think it's brilliant, so no.
Was it your idea, Cassie?
I actually can't remember whose idea it was. I'll check the minutes.
How long?
I'll check the minutes.
How long does a meeting go for?
Probably about an hour.
Yes.
Half an hour to an hour.
And are there then action points that you each like, you're going to do this, I'm going to do this, and we'll reconvene in a month?
Yeah, and then you bring up the last meeting minutes.
Yes, and say, where are you on this?
Is there action? Yeah.
Agenda points.
If you're looking to pass a motion and he doesn't second the motion, what are you left
you're
with?
at a stalemate.
Then the pets can second the motion. It's fine.
Cassie, how long have you been together?
7 years.
It's beautiful.
It's working.
I have to tell you, I think that your relationship is so gorgeous. I love it.
Thank you.
Well done, you little weirdos.
Good, isn't it? I think a lot of people should think about that.
I know, because it means that you're tabling all of those things rather than bottling it up.
Yeah.
And everyone loves the meeting.
Yes, exactly. Meetings are great.
All right, now we're going to finish off with, we'll call her Heather.
Hello, Heather.
Hey, how you going?
Great, Heather. Okay, what's a little bit unorthodox about your relationship?
So I am a working girl.
Oh, okay.
Okay, with a
Been in a
partner.
relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, been in a relationship for 10 years and
Yes.
been a working girl for the last 5.
So he
Okay.
didn't sign up for that. That's just something that you've gone into recently. Was it a discussion that you had?
Yeah. So it was a discussion that, we discussed it once before when we weren't in the greatest of financial decisions.
Okay, yeah.
Came back out of that, and then that was actually a really good thing for us to kind of look into. And so, just kind of started up and went the whole time was just kind of thinking, look, if this works, then brilliant. If not, then we stop.
So is it a financial
interesting.
decision first and foremost, Heather? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So when you get to put the finances aside for a second, okay, that's working for us, but then how are you able to cut off that side of your world to be able to go into your normal relationship?
It's like, would it just be like business hours and what happens at work stays at work, or is he in?
Yeah. It's very much like work is work. You know, a hairdresser doesn't get any pleasure out of cutting hair, even though they enjoy doing it. Type thing.
Are there any like radio-friendly rules that are on the table that you guys had to agree with before going down this road?
There was one with kissing. So when I first started, I wasn't sure whether kissing was kind of a
Just
bit too
your
intimate
thing?
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's what Julia Roberts went through in Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
And Heather, is it easy for
that
you?
lasted about 1 week.
Okay.
And then I went, no, it doesn't feel right to not kiss.
Yes. It feels like you're doing something. Okay, I got you.
It's very robotic. Yeah.
Heather, when you're back with your partner, is it easy to be intimate and because you're not?
You don't forget how to do it though, Sean.
Yeah, you know what you mean. There's a different feeling. There's
Sean,
this, and then there's-
one's without emotion and one's with emotion.
Yeah.
You know what I
Is
mean?
it easy to recapture the emotion? Yeah.
Well, she'll probably look forward to that emotional connection, you know, because
Plus the fact that he knows what I like.
Yes. What are your whereas you're giving someone else what they like? Interesting. What are your hours that you set per week?
In terms of like how long I'm working.
Yes.
Yeah, so I pretty much work part-time hours, so I'm able to fit that around family life.
Okay, so the hours will vary according to client appointments.
Yeah.
More so day or night?
Day, always day.
Always day.
Oh, okay. Well, that
Always
makes it a bit
day.
easier.
Have you
'cause
thought
can-
about now, because, you know, the world of social media and stuff has transformed, of dipping your toe in something like OnlyFans? Because people are making bank on OnlyFans. And people that, like, are in relationships are having that discussion with their partners saying, hey, I don't have to show too much.
No, I spoke to Nat about it just the other day.
Yeah. Have you thought about that as well for another income stream?
It's definitely been demanded from people.
Yes.
But it's not something that I'm actually interested in because I prefer person-to-person contact.
Yeah.
What's the money like these days?
Well, it's very much the same as any self-employment industry.
Yeah.
It can go up and down. So some days I might only make $200 for the day.
Yep.
Other days I can make up to $2,000 for the day.
And like Uber, is there surcharging during busy periods?
That's a good question.
No, in saying that, I've had people that have, been desperate to see me on any particular time, and I've kind of gone, sure, but it's going to cost you this much extra.
Yeah,
Sure,
why
yeah,
not?
well, yeah, that is surge pricing.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's surge pricing.
Yeah.
Very. You know what? What an interesting world.
Heather, do you like to? Yeah, I know. Do you like to cap the amount of people you have in your circle? As a
no,
business?
I'm pretty open and honest. I do cap the length of time that I spend with people.
Yep.
So especially, new people that I've never met before, there's a 1 hour maximum.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
So what do you do after the 57 minutes left after?
She does their taxes.
There you go.
Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We've got more with our old mate, Scotty Cab from the block.
Okay, we're not going to go too hard on it because I've been told that you've been told that you're mouthing off about them too much. But the influencer couple, we've all read all the stories.
Yes.
To be completely honest, and this isn't in general to any influencers, so I don't want them to get insulted. But when I saw there was an influencer couple on here and I read about them, firstly, I rolled my eyes and thought, personally, I just think. I like it when I see just everyday Aussies on there that are battling, and these people do a post and get how many bloody products sent to them, and I just thought, they don't need the help. That was my personal opinion right at the start.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that as well, and really at the end of the day, the block's not for everybody, and you know, we don't wish them any ill, and I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I love working hard.
You just say
and
what
I
you
do
want to say.
mouth off, and
It's so funny.
and I had like 40 journalists in a room, and I mouthed off, and they
They all wrote a story.
They're looking happy with what you're saying. I'm going, yeah, all right, I'm saying the right thing. Yeah.
Well, they all had a conniption. They busted pencils trying to write.
iPhones are blowing up in the notes section.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So the thing is that, as I said, the block's not for everybody, but it's just a matter of you've got to ask them, if you can get a hold of them, ask them why they left the block.
And get what version.
Well, Joel's talking about his mum, isn't he, the whole time?
Yeah.
But they never ever, and I'm going to say it so Scott doesn't have to say it again,
Yeah.
they never ever told anybody that works at the block that they needed to have time off. We've seen people's mothers pass, and you guys have shut down production.
Sick children.
We have seen it all.
Everything, and you've really looked after the contestants.
You've got a very high duty of care on the block, and that's
We
a
do.
fact.
And you know, family absolutely comes first for us. As you said, we've shut the show down in the past for a week, and we've got like 150 people's jobs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stop. We're all stopping for a week, and we'll reconvene a week later. We've done that in the past. And if anybody mentioned to us, I need to go and visit someone because of an issue, we'd be the first to whack them on a plane, and off they go. And in fact, the contestants that replaced those guys, Rachel and Ryan, they're terrific people from Sydney. Of course, it was short notice for them. Their kids weren't settled, you know, like they left their kids quickly.
Yeah.
And so she said, my kids aren't settled. So we flew her home for 2 days.
Yeah.
Straight back to Sydney. You come back. We'll handle things here. Don't worry. As soon as you're ready to come back, you tell us and we'll fly you back.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, she came back.
Yeah.
So if you mention that to us, we're the first to fly you home or do something, look after you. But that never got mentioned to us.
Well, Scotty, just to let you know, I'm a bit unsettled. I haven't been in Bali for a couple of years. Is there any chance?
You can
Mate,
fly us to Bali.
I'll be flying you there tomorrour.
That's how good they are.
You care about people.
I know. And what time would you like to leave? And have you got oversized luggage? Like
Hey, Scotty, we did a thing like a few weeks ago. I live in an apartment block, and there was a problem with the bin room door, right, at my apartment block. And what it was is, you know, there's just like the latch and hook that you have in a caravan.
Yes.
So basically, that had broken, and we asked our strata to get us a quote, and the quote came back for $495 to replace it.
Champion tradesman, look at that. He's straight onto that.
Hey, you know who fixed it?
Me.
Did you?
I spent $11.40 on a hook, and then I went down there, and it took me 2 minutes to do it.
I think you might have got touched up with the $11.40.
Well, you can get trade prices. You're right. But
for about $4.
But we did have one tradie ring us up, and a lot of them actually disagreed. But this one bloke gave us a call and said that he sees there's nothing wrong with that quote, because when he prices quotes, he prices for what could go wrong rather than what the job is at hand.
But he doesn't know what he's walking into, that he doesn't know what's required, he doesn't know how many trips to Bunnings he's going to have to do.
If nothing goes wrong, do you readjust the price and take it lower? And he goes, no, you just quote high. Talk to me.
Well, I just love the fact that you asked for a quote for that when it was 2 screws.
Oh,
yeah, it was.
Well,
Yes,
it's a
it's
strata.
That's the strata way.
So I intercepted this quote.
Yes, well done.
And went, not on my life will we be paying this.
No.
Yeah.
Look, probably it's a little bit steep, and you're right. You got to put your price up. You can't get in your ute, drive all the way there, find out what's going on, then go back to the hardware store, get some stuff.
But all the information was actually given.
Yeah.
Yes. Nathan had all the photos,
we need this. This is the job.
Yeah. So maybe just 100 might have been all
Yeah,
right.
your basic call-out fee.
Anyway,
would have done
so on that, I'm going to film it, and that'll be my application for the next season of The Block.
Yes, fantastic. It won't be you, it'll be whoever you're going with that'll knock you back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like
Sean.
we'd say, we love you.
Yeah, but Sean.
But your
Sean
teammate,
is
I don't know anything
what an
about
albatross around your neck.
He's one of those hire a hubby people that to hang a picture. He's one of those people.
As in,
No, I told
he's
you.
not one of the Hara hubbies. He's the one that needs the hurrah, hubby.
No, Scotty, I've got neighbours around me, a couple of engineers, all retired people, so I go and knock on their door, and then I lead them over, and they go, "Oh, let me do it."
How many people ask you for favours? Like that knock on the door and say, "How can you just come and fix this for us, Scotty?"
Yeah, it used to be a lot in the old days. I tell you, I did have an old doctor, Doc Carmody, his name was. He's passed away now, unfortunately, but he was a terrific bloke. He was widowed and he by himself, and he was an old fella. And he'd ring me up 3 times a week. And he lived sort of near me. So I'd come to his house on the way home 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And I go, "What's up, Doc?" Well, he used to call me boy. And he'd say, I'd say, "What's up, mate?" And he goes, "Oh, I want you to have a look at this." And I go in there and I have a look at it. And I go, "I'll tell you what, I think we can get to this another time. Let's have a cold one."
Yeah.
And a couple of, back those days I used to smoke. Let's have a couple of, he used to smoke Kents.
Yes.
Let's have a couple of Kents and a couple of cold ones, mate. He goes, "Oh, okay, let's go." So I'd have a few beers with him.
You were keeping him company.
Yes. And then 2 days later, he'd ring me again.
He was breaking things at home so you would come round.
Anyway.
He'd take the light club out.
Yeah.
The light's not working.
Yeah.
I'll fix that tomorrow, Doc.
Anyway.
Let's have a beer.
He was killed by the patio collapsing. This contest I'm putting off. It was actually tragic.
I used to do some things for him every now and then. But 3 days a
Not
week
the
for about
patio.
5 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's a beautiful
so sweet.
thing.
That's awesome.
You know what? Everyone should really do that. If there's an old person that's living by themselves and you can sort of feel like they've not got any
Go around
visitors
and drink their
there,
beer.
Go around there. Really try your hardest to get into the wheel.
And I used to, I'd get free Kents and cans of VB as well.
And
So,
medical advice?
It's good all round.
Did you hit him up for medical advice? There you go.
And what happened was, this is a funny story. I was getting married, I think, at the time, and he bought me a electric knife.
Yes.
Remember
electric knife? Because knives are so hard to use.
And then one of his relatives is getting married, and I said, "Oh, you're getting him an electric knife, Doc?" He goes, No. Much better present than that. That's just for me.
Bless him.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much. It's so good to see you in person. It's been so many years since it's been possible, so we can't wait until the block returns
I'm
on
Googling
Sunday.
electric knives. I want to see if you can still get them.
You can.
7 o'clock.
We've got one. We've got one at home. Yeah.
Do you have one?
Yeah, use it.
What's like for like carvery or something?
Yeah. So
What do you use yours for?
But how old is it?
A ham?
And does it plug in or is it cordless?
No, plug in.
Plug in.
Plug in. Have you had it for 40 years? Or is this a wedding present?
I think you can pop down to Harvey Norman and pick one up today.
Yeah.
Electric knife.
They got those different knives that you lock into each other.
Yeah,
and then you bang
Electric
them.
knife, Harvey Norman. Here we go. Yes, and it does have a cord. Come on.
At
Are we
this
living
day
in
and
a
age,
world where
everything's cordless?
No, we haven't moved on with the electric knife.
$44.
That's expensive.
It's inflation.
This one's $74.95.
Oh, la-di-da.
They call it the Carve Easy.
Did you think you'd be coming to a radio interview to talk about electric knives, Scotty?
It was bound to happen.
God, we have the budget to get these. We should get these and give some away this week.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.